also want to add Lisa Owens, my thanks to you for all that you've done, and Rich Robinson, who's our board member for Michelin as well. You all have just been super partners, and we thank you for all your help with this. And James Keel with Greenlink, their executive director, is also here. And James, thank you. And hopefully in the relatively near future, there'll be more buses rolling thanks to this grant. Okay, so what we want to do at this time, I am going to call up and ask David Field and John Verreau, who are our co-chairs for fundraising, and then also Sue Snyder to come over here. And we have our next presentations are, you know, it's sometimes really easy to come on board once something is established. But think about this. So in 2009, 2010, you know, some folks make calls to people across the upstate and say, so we want you to help provide some funding support for a new organization. We're not exactly, you know, they bring people together. We don't really know exactly what they're going to be doing, but we think it's really important, you know, and a great opportunity for the upstate. They're not going to be a programs provider, so, you know, they're not going to be building homes or, you know, taking people to jobs or to healthcare appointments or anything like that, but they're going to create collective capacity. They're going to work with organizations who are doing those things to help make the upstate stronger and better. So maybe you would have joined on the, signed on the dotted line, or maybe you would have said, well, good luck, let me know when it's going well and come back. Well, there were 31 organizations or individuals who signed on the dotted line at that time. They said, okay, we know this can be good, we think, but we're going to invest. We're going to be part of that. And so as part of today's celebration, we want to recognize each of them, and we have a special gift for you. So we're going to ask that a representative from each of the organizations, and most of them are here, please come up and accept our token, and then come stand behind me. We're going to take a group picture. So the first one I want to recognize is an individual, because, and some of you already know this, without this individual, none of the others would have been possible. So I just drove with my 2 cats from Winter Park, Florida to Greenville, staying in a hotel in Greenville. My family's coming in a week, and I'm told, okay, start creating energy for this organization. And by the way, we don't have a whole lot of money, but it'll be okay. Great, thank you. And but on my second day, I met Erwin Madry. He came over to the University Center where I was staying at the time, and he said, it's okay, we're going to make this happen. And he did. And so I have said this before, but I want to make it very clear, there are many others who have been key and supportive of this organization, and they're all critical, but I have no doubt that without Erwin Madry, we would not be here today. So Erwin, please come forward and be the first one to be recognized. Erwin really, he's a board member of Blue Cross Blue Shield, and he convinced Blue Cross very early to be engaged. So I want to now ask Blue Cross Blue Shield to come up and be recognized. Next we have, and I saw Lee left the previous executive director earlier, but Pam Christopher is here as well, the current director of the Anderson Area Chamber of Commerce. Pam? And next we have ANMED Health System. John, I don't know if they want you or who's coming. Oh, Michael, yeah. Unfortunately, Bill Barnett called me this morning and offered his sorrow that he was not able to be here, but Bill Barnett in Spartanburg has been a huge supporter of this organization since the beginning as well. Next, we have Blue Ridge Electric Cooperative. Charles Dalton served as the executive director for a long time and was a huge partner. I don't know if anyone else is here, Charles, or if you'll accept on behalf of Blue Ridge. And next we have BMW Manufacturing. You'll hear from Max in a few minutes. Bon Secours St. Francis Health System. I know Walker is here. Broad River Electric Cooperative, Terry Mallory. The City of Greer in Mayor Danner. Craig Brown, owner of the Greenville Drive. Duke Energy. I know Linda is here. Floor. Cheryl. Formerly Greenville Health System, but now Prisma Health. Greenville Technical College. GSA Business Report. Not sure if Rick Jenkins is here. Greenville Business Magazine. I know I saw Lori Kuhn. Hughes Investments. Phil. Lawrence Electric Cooperative. I have not seen Jim Donahue, but I'm sure there's someone here from Lawrence Electric. McMillan, Pasden, Smith. Unable to be with us, Minor Shaw. Piedmont Natural Gas. And Kaya. And Hank McCullough. Scansos. Sea Level Systems. I saw Tom O'Hanlon. Spartanburg Community College. Spartanburg Water. Sue is already here. Trail Corporation. Neil Workman. Tri-County Technical College. USC Upstate. There's Chancellor Kelly. And then last, certainly not least, the founding chair of TATT, Irv Welling. So please join me in thanking these people who saw the potential before we even knew what the potential was with TATT. Thank you all. So, Emily, if you'll come over here, we're going to organize this. Yeah.
Right.
And before we totally go, I apologize. I missed Upstate Workforce Board and Ann Engemeyer. I can't. Virginia education, I guess, got to work on that. Okay, so match.
No, I got my comments.
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. So one of the things we do with this event every year is we recognize and celebrate milestone anniversaries of organizations and companies across the upstate region. You know, there are hundreds of organizations and companies making a huge impact in the upstate, and you know, we celebrate milestone anniversaries of 20 years or greater. The full list is in your program. And you know, the thing about it is you look at that list and it really tells a history of the upstate region. There are education entities, healthcare entities, chambers of commerce, United Way programs, and then businesses, small and large, that have been in this community, in this region for a long time. So each year we celebrate and recognize them as part of this event, because for some, you know, you have your own parties and you do big things, but for others, this may be the only time someone says, hey, you're an important part of the upstate. So we want to say you're an important part of the upstate and we're glad you're here. I am going to bring to the program Max Metcalf with BMW to lead us in our toast.
Appreciate it very much. Great to be with you. I couldn't help but think when I saw the photo of Minor Shaw and Ben Haskell and others, they called themselves Zentrum City, that they must have had a vision that one day BMW would grow to be a small city, because that's sure what it feels like to those of us at our table as we reflect back on the original photo of the plant from 1994. It's been great. You know, there are a lot of ingredients that have to come together to make a great community and make it desirable to people, that not only those of us that are from the upstate, but those that have moved here. Hundreds of thousands of people that have moved to the upstate over the years. It's great to be able to be together today with 10 at the top and celebrate those ingredients coming together, and what that means to those of us that call this such a special place for work, for raising a family, going to school, and for enjoying what we have is such a great quality of life. That's one thing Irv Welling, serving on a board with Irv, that brings the BMW Charity Pro-Am to the upstate every year. Next year's 20th anniversary, by the way, I'll make that unselfish plug, with the Upstate Alliance 20th anniversary as well, is that the quality of where we live is great, and it's only going to get better if we keep doing events like this together. We're excited to join so many organizations and institutions and businesses that are in the program from BMW's side, because as most of you know, this is our 25th year of producing vehicles for the world that are made right here in the upstate. We cannot imagine that operation would be what it is today, producing about 1,500 vehicles a day. 70% of everything we make at that plant goes to 120 plus markets around the world. But we're just 25 years old. Look at that list that you have in your program. Going back to Erskine College, 180 years. Seems like that's about how long ago it was when I took soccer camp there. But it's just awesome to go back and look at what we have, and an opportunity to recognize all these organizations and businesses in 2019. Each one in that program has its own story. Perseverance is a big part of that, their determination and probably overcoming a lot of challenges, especially those going further back when people just didn't know where the upstate was and what we were all about. But we have the support of the political community, with government, each other's businesses, and all these organizations, great organizations like we're a part of today, to be here. What I want to do, we're going to have one more exercise routine here, Dean. I want to ask anybody that is here today representing a company that is celebrating an anniversary milestone that's in that program, would you please stand? I know that you got to be here, or else everybody's working. If you are in that program as one of the companies going back 180 years or an organization, please stand. Let's recognize all these. Now, apparently, I missed the mimosa bar before we got here. But I am wanting all of you to now stand, everyone in the room, raise a glass or a coffee cup, whatever you can get your hands on, and let's have a toast to the milestones of all of these companies being here, and organizations and institutions for being here and celebrating a special anniversary this year. Here, here. Congratulations. May you all continue to have great success in what we call the upstate community. Thank you very much.